morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to talk about the fact that in a few days' time at the Pokemon World Championships, there is going to be a very big reveal. And I mean that, incidentally. I mean that there is going to be a very big reveal. And I know this for a fact. That's a lie. I am 100% sure of this because there always is. I don't actually know it for a fact. I suppose they could not give us a reveal, but come on. Does that really sound like the kind of thing that Pokemon would do? I don't think it does sound like the kind of thing that Pokemon would do. If we stick to post-pandemic, because I think that's the easiest way to do it, in 2022 we were at Worlds in London. What happened at Worlds in London? Well, we got a very big announcement about the return of EXs. EXs were coming back, and we even had the little hint of the Terra EXs as well, with this little kind of, well, it's an EX logo, but it's all crystallized. What's going on? Yeah, that was awesome. Absolutely awesome. So that was cool. That was a big fun thing to do. And then we went to last year. Did we get a big reveal last year? You know we got a big reveal last year. We got the reveal that Paradox Pokemon, this is 2023 in Yokohama, we had an official reveal that Paradox Pokemon were coming to the Pokemon TCG, Ancient and Future Pokemon, and they showed off a few like Iron Valiant and Roaring Moon EX, for example. Oh, it was a fun time. So we found out they were coming, and then they teased the return of Apex. Now, they didn't tell us very much. When it came to Paradox Pokemon, they were like, here are some Paradox Pokemon to have a look at. Whereas with Apex, they were like, well, you know, here's a little bit. And that's the kind of thing they tend to do when it comes to reveals, I think is fair to say. If we go back to 2022 for a moment, you'll notice that the reveal in London, it showed us EXs, but it didn't show us very much. It showed us that Koraidon and Miraidon were coming, but it didn't actually show us the full cards. It hid their stages, their typings, it hid their energy cost, and it's a Koraidon goes and attaches energy to basic fighting, to basic Pokemon energy, and Miraidon searches out lightning Pokemon, and I thought there was some cool new mechanic at play here, but it turned out they were just hiding the energy symbols because they were hiding the typings. They also showed us a little look at Mimikyu, Lucario, and Magnezone, and they actually let us read Magnezone, but that's the only one we could properly read. As a fun little side note, the first trio of EX decks ended up being Mimikyu, Lucario, and Ampharos. So I'm just saying right now, either Magnezone was supposed to be an EX deck and they changed their mind, or Ampharos was supposed to be in this image and somebody made a whoopsie. Because that is way too convenient. This was supposed to be the free EX deck Pokemon, and something went a tiny bit wrong. And these aren't small reveals, ladies and gentlemen. The one in London in 22 showing the EXs, it's the start of a new block with Scarlet and Violet. It's EXs coming back. It's new type of card, new mechanic, it's all sorts. And then, and this is very important, they hinted at Terrestrial Pokemon with the logo, but didn't give us anything else more concrete. That's very important. Whereas when we get to last year over in Yokohama, they show us the Paradox Pokemon, give us a bunch of information, life is good, and then they hint at Apex, but they don't actually show us the Apex, which I do think is fairly important, because that's 2 years in a row where they've basically gone, hey, here's a big reveal with some details, but we're hiding a bunch of stuff, and here's a tease. I'm not saying we will get that this year, but I'm saying that is where the smart money is. The smart money is on the fact that we will get a proper reveal and then a tease of something coming a little bit later. And here's the thing. It's all down to years in the Pokemon TCG. Year 1 of the Scarlet and Violet TCG starts with Scarlet and Violet base. And Scarlet and Violet base gives us EXs like, for instance, Koraidon and Miraidon. Okay, so that's essentially what they're hinting at. And sure, they show us Terrestrial Pokemon, and that is a bit more of a hint. But actually, Terrestrial Pokemon came around in Scarlet and Violet base with Arcanine and Gyarados. Cool. So last year, they give us a hint of year 2 of Scarlet and Violet with Paradox Pokemon. Although, and I do think this is a very relevant and very important point, we got Paradox Pokemon with Paradox Rift, which was actually set 4 of Scarlet and Violet, which is actually the end of year 1 rather than the beginning of year 2. I don't think that's terribly relevant. It's still basically the same kind of thing. But I do think it's relevant to note that they actually gave us set 4 rather than set 5, the end of year 1, rather than the beginning of year 2. Okay, cool. So with all of that borne in mind, I've shown my work and I've shown you that there's going to be a big reveal. Oh, actually, as a side note, in London was when they started doing ending ceremony reveals. Before that, they always did it during the opening ceremony. Now, for me, I want to enjoy Worlds. I want to be in the room watching games, running around, having fun. Ending ceremony, I can run back to the hotel, make a video. Opening ceremony, I'm at Worlds, I'm having fun. I don't want to go back to the hotel yet. So if you could keep it in the ending ceremony, the closing ceremony, that would be amazing. I have no power, but I'm just saying that would be my preference. So it's coming in the ending and closing ceremony, probably. And it's going to be a hint of what we're getting. And up until a couple of weeks ago, I didn't really have any idea of what we were going to see. Now I feel pretty confident. I feel like I can make a prediction. And the prediction that I can make is it's battle partners. Now, the other day we were shown a couple of listings over on PlayAsia. One of which was for the set battle partners. And one of which was for a pair of products. One was Marnie's Morpeko and Grimmsnarl EX, and one was Steven's Beldum and Metagross EX. And there's 2 potential things that they're hinting at here, and I need to make this incredibly clear. We don't know. Hope we don't know. Because I'm making this video a little bit in advance because of the whole traveling to Worlds thing. It's going to be annoying if we find out and I have to edit this video later, but I don't think we know. At least as I record this, we don't know. But they are both very sensible suggestions. Now, I know that we've had decks in the past, like the Fuecoco and Ampharos deck, including, yes, that Ampharos, which I think should have been in the initial reveal, but wasn't. The thing is, that was Fuecoco and Ampharos deck. That's what it was. Whereas this, if we follow the same naming convention, it's Steven's Beldum and regular Metagross. Nah, mate. Surely it would be Steven's Beldum and Steven's Metagross, which is why I think we're looking at tag team style Pokemon here, because, well, it seems weird that it would be Steven's Beldum and Metagross. It seems way more likely to me that it would be Steven's Beldum and Metagross. Also, as a side note, Pikachu and Zekrom did start in a previous World Championship reveal when they revealed Tag Team Pokemon, because they always do a big reveal at Worlds. When they've got a new type of thing to show, they generally, where possible, save it for the World Championships. So I think Owner's Pokemon are a very safe bet. Although remember, Owner's Pokemon generally don't have any real mechanic associated with them. And I think tag teams is a safe bet. And my personal theory, and this is not confirmed, this is speculation, but my personal theory is they are mashing them together. We are getting Owner's Tag Team Pokemon, or whatever the 2024 version of Tag Team Pokemon are. And I think this is going to be awesome. We're going into year 3, which is, generally speaking, the final year of a block. And tag teams came around for year 3 of the Sun and Moon trading card block. So we're expecting something big coming for the final year. We've got a big announcement coming up at Worlds. We've got a set called Battle Partners and these 2 decks. And I don't think it's just going to be regular stuff here. I think owners Pokemon are on the table. I think tag teams or some more modern equivalent of is on the table. And I think both of them combined is the most likely. And yes, I'm going back to the listing, but I'm sorry, if we're just talking about owners Pokemon, then it would be Marnie's Morpeko and Marnie's Grimmsnarl. It would not be Marnie's Morpeko and Grimmsnarl. And if we were just going back to tag team Pokemon, why would there be Marnie and Steven in the name at all? That doesn't make any sense to me. So you know what? That's my prediction. And even if I'm miles off base here, the video said, the title, the thumbnail, all of that, there is a big announcement coming. And it would be weird if that didn't happen. Even if my prediction is miles off base, I don't think it is, obviously, but it could be, obviously. That doesn't mean there isn't a big reveal coming. We always get a big reveal. Make sure you're watching the opening ceremony just in case. I think it's going to be closing ceremony. We've had it 2 years in a row. That, to me, signals a change. 1 year in a row is an anomaly. 2 years in a row is we've changed how we do things. Watch the closing ceremony. Enjoy it. Or don't watch the closing ceremony. Wait about an hour and a half after the closing ceremony, where there's going to be a very excitable Wossie telling you everything you need to know. For now, this seems like a great video for predictions. So tell me your predictions for what we're going to get in the closing ceremony in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossie. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel like the lovely Jelena Renji, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.